And so they originally I was going to contract them to build the website. And it became clear very early on that we were talking about things way in the future. They were super passionate about the mission and the vision behind the business. So it just became like, It was a no-brainer to, bring them in, have them as technical co-founders and give them equity in the business.
Amazing. So sometimes it's not about what you know, it's who you know. And also the luck of timing, I guess. Yeah,
that was something which I always looked at, like, this was meant to happen. And it gave me such confidence that this was going to be some, multi-million pound business. I was like, what are the odds of me being in the bouldering centre when this bloke is here and he's got all the skills I need, and we get on and we become co-founders, and he has a friend who has all the skills to do all the back-end coding. And that's not how it turned out, but I still think it was meant to be, because I think there's so much which I've learned from that process, which has, got me to where I am today and will help me in the future to get to even cooler places.
Especially after going to the same university as Ben Francis, who's the owner of Gymshark.
Yeah, big time.
You thought you were going to be the next one.
Exactly. And you never know. I might be.
It might come back.
Exactly. It won't be that idea. To be honest, I think it was a good idea. I just I lost my passion for it, and we never had a financial runway. So that's like a term you always use with a business. Like, what's your runway? How many months do you have before the cash runs out? We didn't have that because our overheads were so low. Amazon Web Services is what we use to host everything. Like, if people haven't heard of that, that's Amazon, where you buy everything online. They have this other service which is actually where they make most of their money, which businesses use to host, like Netflix is on there, and all those massive companies use it. We won a grant for $5,000 worth of credits, and we used £5 a month worth of credits to keep everything up and running. The overheads were so low, we didn't have the financial runway. But what I didn't appreciate at the time was actually having a personal runway of how long can I go working on this without it necessarily getting to the point, reaching certain milestones before I don't want to say burn out. I think I don't want to use that term lightly, but before I sort of lose that passion and that drive. And the same for my co-founders, starting back at work after furlough, going to 3 days a week, then 4 days a week, then 5 days a week, the demands on their time and what impact that has on their mental health and stuff. We didn't really factor in. So that's kind of why it came to an end, essentially. But actually you mentioned Ben Francis, when there's this conference called Performex Live. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it.
The first one was last year. It's in London somewhere. I can't remember the name of the location. But I got a free ticket through the coaching software that I use. And I was walking there for his talk. And I saw him across the road in his classic outfit, the white socks, the all black Gymshark fit. And I was like,
it's always, isn't it? White socks, Converse.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, is that Ben Francis? And he didn't know where he was going. He was literally by himself on his phone.
I think I remember seeing your story about this, actually.
Yeah. So I went up to him and I was like, are you heading to the thing? Performance Live, and he was like, yeah. I was like, oh no, it's just down here. I had no idea where it was, but I just took an educated guess so that
quickly on Google Maps.
So that we would, we had a minute and a half just kind of walking together towards this thing, and it was epic. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe you're such a cool, just nice bloke.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Having gone to the same university, he loved that and told him about the business and stuff. So I was like, this is another sign from the universe. But maybe it's not what I thought it was going to be, but still, it's just a pretty cool experience for sure.
Yeah, I met Ben. I worked at Gymshark Lift Manchester event. That was 2019 now. Wow.
Long time ago.
Nearly 4 years ago. Yeah, it was a while ago. And I was only working in the stock room, actually, and he kept coming up and having a chat with us, making sure everything was all right. Dead down to earth fella. And same black tracksuit, white socks, Converse, or some sort of pump. And the socks over the
over the tracksuit
as well. Standard Ben
Yeah,
Francis.
it's an iconic uniform. I understand why he does it.
Yeah.
Because literally, without seeing his face, I knew it was him. It's good.
Yeah, 100%.
It's good personal branding.
Yeah, why wouldn't you wear your own brand if it was Gymshark?
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to take a slight turn here about something that we spoke on DMs before. Really big topic at the moment. It is the girls filming in the gym and posting it when someone glances at them. I've seen a lot from, I think his name's Joey Swole.
Yeah.
He does a lot of breakdowns of the videos. And I think it is getting a bit over the top at the moment. There are girls filming in the gym, and literally there could be a fella just glancing around the gym or in between a set, just having a look around, and next minute they're being framed for sort of looking at the girl. And, you know, it's getting posted everywhere over TikTok, and these people have got like 50, 100,000 million followers on social media.
Yeah.
Just want to know your thoughts.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mad one. That Joey Swole guy, I really rate him. Like he looks like such a meathead in the loveliest way possible.
Oh yeah,
like he's so jacked.
He's absolutely huge.
He's so jacked. But his takes on them a lot of the time are quite well balanced, and it's never attacking the woman in the scenario. It's just kind of educating. And I think what he does is really cool. I'd say my take on it is I'm part of a group called Gym Safe Ladies, which a friend of mine, Emily Power, set up. And essentially it's to raise awareness of sexual harassment in gyms.
I think I saw someone post that on the story the other day, actually.
Yeah. And through being part of that, I've learned so much about actually what goes on and how common it is to be sexually harassed in the gym, and actually what sexual harassment is. Like the bar is a lot lower than you'd think it is. Like it doesn't have to be any physical contact. Like that is still sexual harassment. And so with that lens, I am like, yes, I do think that some of these videos have gone too far, but on the flip side, like I'm sure some people will do it and be like, oh, if I post this, like, yeah, we'll definitely get engagement. Yeah. But for some people, it will genuinely be because they have very negative experiences in the gym, and they are so self-conscious of that happening again that they maybe jump the gun a little bit and interpret it in that way. Yeah. So I think I can understand why guys are annoyed by it, but you have to understand that as a bloke, like it's all this, this obviously ties into the bigger topic of just sexual harassment generally. And it's not all men, but it is always a man that does this stuff. And we as men have no idea what it's like to be a woman walking around the streets and like late at night and all those sort of things. Like we don't have to think about it. Like that's our privilege as men. So I'm not too quick to like jump on to have a go at any of the women that post these videos, even if they maybe don't, the video isn't necessarily what they are trying to present it as.
So you mentioned that you've learned that the bar's a lot lower than we, obviously as men, think it is. For the viewers and listeners of you being in that group, what is how much lower are we talking? Like what are they classing as harassment?
So even just like videoing someone is, I think you can be done for sexual harassment. With that,
I mean, I wouldn't technically say sexual harassment. I'd say it was harassment, but that can go either way. I think that doesn't just happen in the gym. I think if you're literally filming someone anywhere, like without permission, then it is a bit shady in the first place.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a while since I've since the last campaign that we did, so I'm definitely not 100% up to date, but it is stuff like even just like the things that you say. When it's things that you say is a little bit more black and white because you'll come out with certain things. But even just coming up to someone and spotting them without permission and stuff like that, and you know, even it is a bit like, because in the gym, you just look around, like, obviously, but
Yeah.
in certain cases, it's like very clear that you are just staring at this person, and you're like following them around. And since like I've got involved with that, I've spoken to so many of my friends that have had that experience where a bloke will try and talk to them and then literally just follow them around the gym, and he might just think like, you know, trying to get a little meet cute and like chat to them and stuff like that. But to them, they have no idea who this guy is, and it's, you know, it can be very intimidating.
Yeah.
I
listened to the Not So Fit Couple podcast, and they spoke about this the other day, and they said, well, I think it's a very grey area anyway, because obviously you've got to gauge whether that person actually wants to communicate with you in the first place, and then it's also how you then go about doing it. Obviously, if you've said something to someone and then started following every machine that they go on, it's a bit stalkerish. But then it is a really grey area. It is a difficult one. I think you've just got to gauge the other person, and say if they're mid-set with headphones in, you're not going to go over and go hi, like, and introduce yourself.
Yeah. What was it?
I think there are ways of going about doing these things, going over to speak to people in the gym. Either way, a girl speaking to a lad speaking to a girl, or girl, whatever. But there's always going to be those people of either gender that take these things to the extreme and do come across a bit stalkerish in the gym. But then I think the flip side of things is, because I even noticed it the other day, like I went into the gym, a new gym, with my tripod filming some content. Naturally, people are going to look at you because it's not necessarily the norm in the gym. Like, like you're talking maybe 5% of people that go to the gym will take a tripod in and film themselves. So to the other 95%, you're doing something out of the norm. People are going to naturally just have a look at what you're doing. I actually had a lad come over to me in the gym the other day and say, do you put this on YouTube or social media? So, like, I think there's got to be an understanding from both sides as well. So, like, if you're stood there with a tripod, someone's going to have a look over and see what you're up to. Like, obviously, then it depends on how that person is looking at us, if they are looking a bit stuck. But if they're literally just interested in seeing what you're up to, then I think you've got to take that understanding as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I always think as well, like, for anyone listening to this that does film in the gym, like, don't forget that you are inconveniencing everyone there by filming.
Oh, massively.
So don't ever feel any type of precious way about being able to film something. If someone wants to use a bit of kit that is in your shot and they don't want to be filmed, like, that's their right. If you need to prop your thing up on a bench and there's no other benches free, they need that, like, you need to move your stuff, like, don't forget that element. But 100%, like, if you're putting yourself out there to film, you're going to attract more looks than if you just go to the gym normally.
Yeah. But, like, I've had it as well in the past, like, when you say, like, you're in people's space as well, it is a public space. One, people have got to understand that you can film in the gym, but at the same time, you've, again, got to be conscious that other people have got to move around the gym at the same time. So the amount of people that I've had stop as they've realised there's a camera there, and I'm just like...
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I'll edit it. It's
just
fine.
Go, like, it, like, it inconveniences me slightly. Like, I might have missed one rep in a whole shot, but...
And nowadays, you really
don't
fine. Need, like, for each frame of a video, like, you really don't need it to be any longer than, like, a few seconds. So as long as you've got that in the shot, you're fine.
Yeah, exactly. So, it is such a difficult one, but I think the videos where it is literally just someone minding their own business in the gym, I think they do need to come to an end, because some of the things that are being said about these people, they've obviously got jobs and families and things like that. If they're all of a sudden blowing up with 1 million views because they literally just like glancing at, like, you can't be putting that out there, because you could completely ruin someone's reputation. Either gender, like women, man, whatever it is, like that. You just can't be putting that stuff, especially if it's for the sake of views and likes.
It's like
if
so I was just going to say, it's like also in some of the videos, like, they'll slow down the section of the video where they perceive something to have happened, and it's like VAR in football. I know you're a big Liverpool fan, but like they show the referee this slowed down version of what happened, and it kind of misconstrues like the reality of it.
Massively.
So yeah, there is definitely that element as well of people like falsely being accused of something.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to say for anyone that's listening, like I said before, like I am aware that this stuff does happen. Like I'm not denying the fact that people do, stare at people in the gym or be a bit stalkerish. I'm just saying the opposite side of things, which are blowing up at the moment, which are videos, quite a lot of them, where there are things that are happening which aren't like stalkerish, not like staring at people. Like it is literally just someone. Like I actually posted a video the other day of me just zoning out. I forgot I was recording. I posted yesterday, and I do it all the time. I just zone out completely. Just I've got my music on or whatever, and yeah, I think people just need to be a little bit careful about what they post online.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially those with big followers.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think we're going to wrap this one up. It's been a nice and informational podcast, I would say.
One.
Is there anything else that you would like to say before we end?
Yeah, I guess thank you everyone for listening. If you ever need any fitness advice or have any questions about anything we've been chatting about today, feel free to hit me up on Instagram. That's probably the best way to get to me. And I hope everyone's just having a sweet start to the year. I hope you've all got your goals set out and you're working towards them. Because honestly, life is so much better when you have something that you're targeting. So yeah, that could be the final thought.
Where can they find you on Instagram?
So it's Liam Cavanagh Fitness. Cavanagh, Cavanagh. And yeah, that's all one word. I think I'm Liam Cavanagh on TikTok as well at the minute, but
I'll put all your links in the description below for people watching on YouTube, and I think I can, I'll put the apps in for the podcasts that people are listening to. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on.
No problem, mate. Cheers for having us. Excited to.
If you are,
I was just gonna say excited to hear how it turns out.
Yeah, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you drop it a like. If you are new, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Thank you very much for watching part 3 of the podcast. If you'd like to see more clips of the Big Lad podcast, click right here. If you're new, subscribe. And if you enjoyed it, make sure you drop it a like down below. Thank you.